Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tamika. This is Library of Tomes, where I talk to you about all the bookish things going on in my life. Hi, welcome back. I hope you're doing great. Today I'm actually going to be bringing you a fun video that I've been meaning to do for about a month now, and I'm just not getting around to it because I've just had so much stuff that I've needed to do. I've had to shift things around. But anyway, I'm excited today. I'm going to be giving you some books that are on Scribd that are dark romances. I know that a lot of people who watch my channel love dark romance as much as I do. I adore dark romance. It's one of my favorite subgenres within the romance genre. And I feel like it's really hard to find dark romance audiobooks. So as someone who reads a lot of dark romance, who listens to a lot of audiobooks, I wanted to help y'all out with this service that I use and show you some dark romances on here. So now hear me out though. If you don't have Scribd, don't worry, because I'm gonna hook you up. If you don't have Scribd and you want to try it, it is only $8.99 a month. But if you want to try it for 60 days for free, you can use my link in the description to sign up. If you do sign up for it and you get your 60 days, then I do also get a month for free. So if you want to help me out and you want to also read some audiobooks that I'm going to recommend to you today, and then also some audiobooks that are on my radar, then make sure you click my link and use that so that we can all benefit. Because you only get 1 month free if you go on the website, I'm pretty sure. This is not sponsored or any kind of paid promotion. This is literally an affiliate link. So if you use it, my only commission is getting a month for free. Just to be completely clear and transparent with you all. But I've been using this service for a long time, actually. I think I started using this back in, I want to say August of 2019. So I've been using this service for a pretty long time. 3 of these I have physically read or like completely read through them. 1 of them I'm currently reading, and then the other 4 are 4 that are on my radar. So I figured I'd let you know about those as well. So first of all, these are fairly popular because these are usually put on here by traditional publishers or they're put on here by authors, but some authors aren't wide distribution with their audiobooks. Some of them are in the Audible Plus program. So I'm gonna go over these really quickly so that you know what they are, but these are kind of popular. They're not like super popular, but some of them are. First up, we have The Initiation, which is the first book in the Filthy Rich American series. Now the entire series minus the 4th book. So the first 3 books in the series are on Scribd. So there's The Initiation, The Deception, and The Obsession. I think I said those a little backwards, but those are the 3 books in the series. This follows a girl named Marist who is essentially forced into an arranged marriage with a guy named Royce. They are both from these families that are really wealthy, and they have to be forced into this arranged marriage because originally her sister Emily was supposed to be destined to marry him. So Royce is going to be joining this board on the with like his family, and he has to take a wife in order to be initiated into that board of directors in this company that his dad has. So it's like a bank type, finance type of company. It's very secretive. It's kind of secret society like. So essentially this follows Marist as she has to like jump through hoops to be approved to actually be his wife and go through the initiation. You don't know what the initiation is, but she is very heavily involved in it, and she has to be. So I can't tell you what it is because that's like half the fun is figuring out what the initiation is, but it's really fun. The series is on there. It's super marathon worthy, so you can read the entire thing in a couple days. I read the first one not quite in a sitting, but I did read it pretty quickly. I read it within like 2 days or something like that. Once I actually got invested into it, it was a very quick read. So yeah, definitely one that is light. It's like light dark romance. So some trigger warnings for this is just like forced cheating essentially. So like kind of like coercion. She's coerced into agreeing to things. So some forced consent. There's also a pretty big age gap with some of things that are happening. So yeah, she's pretty much forced through everything. So she has forced consent because if she does not consent, her family is gonna like lose everything. So it is a very fun series. It's very interesting. I would say it's a light dark if you're kind of new to dark romance or you want to like dip your toe in. It's a good one to start with. It's pretty good. So the next one, I'm gonna go full dark on you. The Devil's Playground Duet. So we've got The Devil and the Devil's Advocate, Ashley Jade. This is extremely dark. There's a lot that I could say about this book. So let me just start slowly and start at the beginning. So we're following Eden, Kane, and Damien. Kane and Damien have a history together, and Kane is Eden's stepfather. So already got some interesting ties going on there. The world essentially thinks that Eden and Kane are sleeping together. She is not 18 when all these rumors are going around. She's only 17, but she turns 18 at the beginning of the story, and they do have a relationship. They are sexually attracted to one another, and they did have a slight interaction before she's 18. But he pushes her off, or he pushes away, and he says, no, like, we can't do this or whatever. And it's the story going from there. I really can't tell you a ton about this because I will spoil essentially the entire duet if I do. This series is really bonkers. Like, you're not going to understand what's happening when you're reading this until you're in the second book. So the first book, you're following two different timelines, Eden and Kane and their relationship, and then Damien and Kane and their past relationship. And it's kind of intertwining, and you're trying to figure out why Eden is a pawn in all of this. Essentially, that's essentially what's happening. And the entire story is, I don't feel like you can just read the first book. I feel like you need to jump immediately into the second book to fully get the full grasp of the story. And it's absolutely amazing. It is such a good story. It's very quick to read as well. So if you're really in the mood for something super dark and something that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat, this is definitely one that you should check out. This is full dark though. We have tons of triggers in this. There is murder. There is obviously minor and adult relationship. There is some sex between people. There are menages in here. So there are threesomes, but never with the three main characters we're following. Two of the characters are always involved, but you never know which ones they are. And there is also forced water sports. I think that's all the triggers for this. But like I said, make sure you're checking it out. Make sure you're reading into it. Make sure it's okay. There is an age gap on this, so just be warned going in here. That's what's happening. It's very good. It's really good. Really, seriously, check it out. It's so good. So then I don't think I could talk about dark romance and not talk about Katie Robert. Katie Robert is on Scribd. Thank God. I love Katie Robert. Now listen, her Wicked Villain series it's really popular. I know it is, but it is also on Scribd. So if you want to check it out, it is on there. I think all of the books are on there. I think we're waiting on Hoopla to get the last book, but I think all 6 books are on Scribd. I have read Desperate Measures, Learn My Lesson, and A Worthy Opponent. I need to finish off the series, but this one is so good too. These are really quick reads. These are honestly some of the best BDSM books I've ever read. They are so good. Katie Robert just really knows how to do BDSM. The BDSM elements in the story are a little darker, so we've got some consensual non-consent going on, and then just some more taboo things like bringing in more menages, which are more taboo than really dark, but these are still darker romances. They have like a darker kind of tone to them. They have like a darker feeling. They deal with some like heavier topics. Like we have a captor-captive situation. We have a situation where one of our heroines is being chased by an ex-abusive partner, and she goes into a deal with another partner to essentially protect herself. We have heroes trying to save people, so selling themselves to people in order to save that person who didn't need to be saved. So yeah, we've got a lot of things going on in this series. This is a really fun one as well. If you've not read the Wicked Villain series, I really recommend you check it out. They are all on Scribd. The only thing with Scribd that I don't like is that sometimes if you're really marathoning a series, they'll put a little hold on when you can get the next one if you go through them too quickly. But it's still worth it in my opinion. It's much cheaper than Audible. Okay, so next up we're going to be talking about the one that I'm currently reading, and that is this Lovehertz. This is by Willow Winters. I have already started this, as you can see, and I want to tell you about it. This one is a short one. This one's only 4 hours long, and this one is a captor-captive situation. This one is about this lawyer who had a case that kind of went cold, and she is starting to be known for cases that are going cold. This one also is following a dual timeline, so we have the past and the present. She had a relationship with someone who they both agreed that it was no longer working for them. It wasn't a good situation, so they go in separate ways. So they part ways, go separate ways. And 2 years later, she comes back and he gets in the car with her. Like, she's in the car, he gets in, and she said, I thought we had agreed that we're not going to be together anymore. and he says that he's changed his mind. So he kidnaps her, and it's like a captor-captive situation. They have a very intense romance, intense relationship. So yeah, I don't know all the triggers for this one. I'm not very far in, so I don't know many of the other triggers for it. It does say that it is an all-consuming, sizzling romance that features an anti-hero you will not forget. So I'm assuming he might be one of the people she had a case against. I don't know for sure, but I'm excited to finish this one, and I will be telling you all about it. So if you want to check it out, make sure to go listen to this, because it's very short. And yeah, this one, it sounds absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so the rest of these are ones that are on my radar. I don't know a ton about all of them, but they are ones that I definitely want to get to soon in the near future, and they are obviously on my list to be listening to from Scribd. So next up we have the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. I think all 4 books are on this app. All 4 of the books in the series of the audiobooks are on here. So obviously the first book is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. Essentially what happens in this story, and I always get the synopsis just a tiny bit wrong, so correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure what happens is there's this girl who is dating one of the brothers in this group of 4 friends, and she's always had a crush on the brother, and she like wants a romantic relationship with the brother, but he's kind of off limits. So her boyfriend goes off to college, or he moves and goes somewhere, and she actually had told the cops a secret that had gotten all 4 of those friends in trouble and had them arrested, and they are then coming back and getting revenge on her, and it is her story with her boyfriend's brother. So it's her relationship getting with him. That sounds pretty taboo. I've heard this is pretty dark, so I'm excited to read this one. If you want to pick up the Devil's Night series, but you want to listen to it on audio, it is on Scribd for you to check out. So I wanted to let you know about that one. So the next one is actually a sequel to a book, but I still wanted to include it because I didn't know this one was on here either, and that's Sinner by Sierra Simone. So the first book in that series is Priest by Sierra Simone, which is a priest romance, and I'm pretty sure that Sinner is also a romance that is like within like a religious atmosphere. So this one is not about necessarily a priest, but this is the brother to the priest in the first book. And the synopsis is very, very short. I'm gonna read it to you really quick. It says, "I'm not a good man, and I've never pretended to be. I don't believe in goodness or God or anything ending that isn't paid for in advance. What do I believe in? Money, sex, McAllen 18. They have words for men like me: playboy, womanizer, skirt chaser. My mother used to be a priest, and he only has one word for me: sinner." So that sounds really interesting. I am excited to check this one out. This one obviously is coming from Sierra Simone, who is a dark romance like auto buy for a lot of people. A lot of people love Sierra Simone, so I have high hopes for this one. This is my friend Izzy's, I think, favorite book in this series. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure she really loves this, so I can't wait to check this one out as well. Yeah, it's also on Scribd for you if you want to check it out. Like, this is the whole point of this, so that if you want to check the books out, you know where to go get them. You know they're on Scribd. You know you can get some dark romance on Scribd. Okay, so the next one is another one I don't know a ton about, but this one is Deception and Chaos by S.M. Soto. This one is a captive romance. Okay, so there's not a ton that I can tell you about this one, but I'll tell you like the smallest amount because I've not read this, and this is just what I'm getting from it. I don't know all the triggers. This one sounds super dark though. So Sophia lives like this really quiet, like mundane life, right? And she's dealing with like grief from losing her parents in an airline accident. She lives with her, like she lives close to her brother, who's like her only relative, and he's kind of like her anchor that keeps her from like that keeps her going, right? So then she's taken captive, and she wakes up in this situation where she's in like a disgusting basement with like a gross mattress, and she's just in a horrible situation, and there are like men coming in, there are beatings, and so like she's being repeatedly raped apparently and beaten and everything, and she finds out she gets sold to someone. So she is being sold off, I'm assuming to be like a slave of some kind. And then there are more people who come into the story who then kidnap her from the people who kidnapped her. So she's kidnapped again, and the story is their relationship, I'm assuming, her second captor's romance with her. So it sounds really interesting. It sounds super dark, so definitely need to look into trigger warnings for that one, but just from the synopsis alone, that one sounds super dark and super exciting to read from Scribd. So the last one is one I definitely don't have anything to tell you about. This one is King by T.M. Frazier. This one I think is a motorcycle romance. This one has been talked about a lot on BookTube. It is one that is high on my priority list, and it is one that I think that everyone has really liked when they've read it. It is a darker romance. T.M. Frazier is definitely an author that I've heard a lot of praise for dark romance. So another one for you to check out. I have not read this, obviously, but is a high on my priority list. All right, so those are all of the dark romances that, one, I recommend on Scribd, and then number two, that are high up on my priority list on Scribd. Remember, if you want to check out Scribd, if you've not checked it out before, then go ahead and use my link in the description. You will get 60 days for free, and then I will get a month for free, and we will all be very happy. So yeah, I do love Scribd. I use it all the time. I really recommend you check it out. And yeah, so if you want to be my friend on any other platform, all my links are in the description, as well as all the links to the books if you want to check those out, and my Scribd link if you want to get the 60 days for free. And I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye everyone.